Hey guys, Troy Francis coming at you with another video from London town. So I wanted to do another one of these slightly existential thought essays where we talk about what is the point of all of this in the first place, or in the final analysis. What is the point of learning game? What is the point of learning social skills, and all of that good stuff? And what is the end game? This is something that people ask about a lot. I've done videos about this before. I'm not going to retread everything because we have talked about it before, but there'll be new viewers who maybe are considering this and they haven't seen some of that old stuff. So, I mean, the TLDR version is there is no end game, right? I mean, life is essentially random. There is no ultimate point to any of this. We all happens that I think it's a 1 in 400 trillion chance that each of us has been born and we're put there on this bizarre planet and we're spinning around for a few years, for a few decades, and then we all die. And then eventually the planet will be consumed with flames and it will be as if humanity never existed. So all of it is random. None of it means anything. Um, and yeah, so it's all a load of arbitrary nonsense, really. So what that means is you can take that as being very nihilistic, but what that means is that you are at liberty to create your own meaning as a result. Okay, and I think that's really the way to go. And creating your own meaning in life can be a variety of things. I think having some sort of spiritual practice is helpful. I think doing something creative, whether that's making a business or writing a book or making a painting or a piece of music or something like that, I think that's good. I think doing something physical for the body, um, I think that's a very good practice to have. I think trying to be helpful to others in various different ways, I think that's generally a good thing. So, if you're ticking off um, and also I should say as well, connectivity with other people. So people that are close to you, people that you love, whether that is your family, whether that is girlfriends, whether that's wives, whether that's whoever, children, etc. I think that is very very important as well. So those are the key sort of fundamentals. But in the bigger scheme of things, if you take a step back, unless you happen to be a religious person and you believe strongly in a faith where it's explained differently, the reality is we're all kind of randomly floating around on this bit of rock, which is going to blow up at some point anyway, and we're all going to die pretty soon. So, you know, you could look at that very negatively, or you can take it on a good level. You can think, well, I'm gonna then do what I want to do. I'm gonna create reality as I see it. I'm gonna make this my mission. I'm gonna make this my life, and I'm gonna choose to use the short period of time that I have on this planet in order to achieve these things. And I think that can be very very good and very very freeing as well. So it's not all doom and gloom by any means. I mean, it is kind of all doom and gloom, but it's not all doom and gloom, if that makes sense. Um, as far as the dating stuff is concerned, I think that and relationships, I think everyone just has to make up their own mind, really. I don't think, I mean, I get a lot of criticism, or I have in the past had a lot of criticism from people on Twitter um, because I was making some very anti-monogamy type tweets. A lot of that was just designed to piss people off, to be honest. It wasn't necessarily entirely what I believed. I was amping it up a little bit. As people might know, I'm in a relationship now. I have a girlfriend. Um, I've also been single, and I've been out on the market and meeting different women and stuff. And you know, which one is better? Which state is better to be in? Truthfully, I'm very happy right now with my girlfriend. She's an amazing person. We have a wonderful time together. But the reality of it is that both approaches to life, both states, bring their own challenges and difficulties and issues. Okay, so it would be naive and incorrect to say that one is just this blissful, incredibly happy experience, and the other one is terrible and degenerate or whatever. So people will say, well, the bachelor lifestyle, where you're traveling around and you're meeting different women and you're doing all of that, is a miserable, hollow existence, and they're, they're not entirely wrong. Um, but that doesn't mean that relationships don't bring with them their own challenges and difficulties as well. And relationships are inherently very difficult, which is why the divorce rate is very high in most countries, and why a lot of relationships sadly will come to an end at some point. Okay, not everyone, but a lot of them will. Um, Again, I would repeat, I believe that it is naive and a fallacy to think that one side is better than the other side. I wouldn't sit here and argue it's better to be a playboy who has no, lasting connections with any other human beings, because I think that that can be very shallow and it can be very empty and it can leave you with a lot of dark nights of the soul and existential crises and so on and so forth. However, to say that, a relationship or a marriage is a walk in the park and you're just going to be consistently happy is also bollocks, okay? Um, Neither is perfect, because life isn't perfect, right? And the other thing as well is FOMO and regret. And whatever path you choose, there's a danger that you might regret. You think, oh, the other path looks a lot better. I wish I'd done the other path, and I've done this path. So we get all of that. I think as human beings, and maybe this affects some of us more than others, but I think as human beings, we are uniquely positioned to find problems in whatever situation we're in, and to be unhappy or not unhappy but dissatisfied in whatever situation we find ourselves in. Okay, um, I just think that's a fundamental human default mechanism. Okay, maybe there's even some evolutionary biological reasoning for it. I don't know. Maybe it's encouraging us to always seek out something new. Maybe there's some kind of reason for it. But I think that we are, and as I say, I mean, look, it affects some of us more than others. I know people who are pretty, I would say, pretty simple, straightforward people, and they just kind of get on with it. They're married, or they got a wife, they got kids, whatever. They just get on with it, or they're single and they're happy with that, and they just get on with it. And they don't seem to have the same kind of. I mean, me and Tusk. I was on the phone to Tusk the other night for 2 hours. 2 hours of listening to James Tusk ranting on about all of this stuff. And it's like, we can talk about this stuff till the cows come home, but we are wired in a way that I think makes us inherently, I don't want to say dissatisfied, but it makes us, I think we overthink things a lot, and we question our place and what we're doing in our lives and so on. And maybe not everyone's like that, okay? But maybe you are, maybe you're not. Let me know in the comments below. But I think some people, maybe those people who are a little bit ADHD or a little bit addictive or whatever, I think those people will always be questioning the validity of the choices that they have made, okay? So I suppose what I'm coming around to say, what's the point of all of this anyway? Well, the point is to live and to try to make, I think, a meaningful contribution in whatever way you can to society, okay, to the people around you. I think that's the only meaning that we could really take from this, whether that is just helping out at the local community centre or the local church, or giving the bloke in the street a £10 note when you walk past, or giving someone some cigarettes or something. I mean, it's small gestures, really, but connectivity with other human beings, helping other human beings, is really the only meaning that I can see in all of this. Um, and as far as the relationship stuff is concerned, you just have to make your own choices, but recognize that neither side, okay, that there is no nirvana where it's just going to be perfect forever. And even if you think you found that nirvana, give it another 5 years, give it another 10 years, okay? Things may look a little different, all right? So maybe acceptance is key, all right? Acceptance of dissatisfaction, acceptance of continual questioning, acceptance of the fact that maybe we never will be truly happy, whatever happy means, consistently, but does that really matter, okay? We're alive, we're able to enjoy the wonderful things on this planet, we're able to enjoy the wonderful people around us, and perhaps that is enough, okay? Perhaps we don't need to think about an end game. Perhaps that's not necessary, because any of us could die at any moment anyway, right? I could walk out here and get run over by a bus, like a nice London bus or a nice London taxi, and that could be it. So then all of this musing will be completely moot anyway, because my life will have finished. So, given that life can finish at any time, perhaps the answer is not to dwell on this stuff too much, but to just get on with it and do the best we can every day with the choices that we have made. Okay? And also, finally, no choice is forever. You are allowed to, and you can reverse the choices that you have made. Okay? Sometimes it's more difficult, depending on how tied in you are in a situation, but it's always possible. Okay? So nothing's forever. Um, and that's all right too. In the end, guys, I don't want to sound hippie-ish, I don't want to sound like Russell Brand or my yoga mat, but, it is all about acceptance. It really is. Anyway, let me know what you think about this one. put something in the comments below. Let me know what your feelings are on this, what you're thinking. Do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys again very soon in the next video. Bye bye.